Age 50 or 5 years outside of retirement or any time in retirement, you are in the financial red zone. So what that means, Amanda, is when we're young, we can take a lot of risk with our money because in theory, if we lose it, we have time to gain it back. But if you ask me, I don't like losing money at any time.
Never.
I don't know about you. So we can make sure to minimize risk, but also maximize, importantly, get you on a different road to begin with. If you have potholes in your retirement, you're in the wrong road to begin with. So let's get that smooth glide path into retirement, get that true lifetime income plan. I've been doing this over 33 years now. So I know what I'm doing as far as structuring retirement income you can't outlive. If you want to get a real plan together, folks, that doesn't have potholes. 403B, federal 403B program, helping them save for retirement. Tom, then they started.
Here we are, the big book on retirement. I'm Thomas Lipscomb here with Coach Pete D'Arruda, going chapter by chapter through the book, getting some behind the scenes knowledge and wisdom. And you're here for chapter 2, so let's dive right in. The chapter is called Learn the Rules. And you got a quote here at the top I like. It's from Albert Einstein. He says, you got to learn the rules of the game. Then you have to play better than anyone else. But learning the rules is huge. And I think I can pick on myself a little bit here, Coach. You know, I'm not a huge sports fan. I'm more into the music and the nerdy stuff. But I know my rules when it comes to hockey, and I can enjoy the game because of that, or soccer or whatever. But then there are games out there that I simply just don't know the rules for.
Well, look at driving. You have to know the rules there. So it doesn't have to be just a game. It could be anything in life. There's rules.
That's true.
Anything. Pay delivery fees. So I said, you're a young girl. There's a snack bar right in the first floor of her dorm.
Oh, okay.
Said, walk down there and buy the snacks. Don't have someone bring it to your door, because then you have to pay delivery fee and you got to tip people. So, you know, when you're paying everybody else money, it's hard to build money. And, you know, the people that understand money and have a lot of money are the ones that did smart money decisions going forward.
It's true.
Because anytime money goes out, you have to work extra hard just to bring it back in. She doesn't, because it's daddy's money. Daddy doesn't like his money going out there. I have a limit now. It's a pretty good limit, though, but each month for her. But and I'm not being a mean dad. I'm just saying it's okay to eat that way every now and then, but don't do it all the time, because that's a money evil. They're trying to steal money from you, and they are.
That's good.
Paying tips and delivery fees.
Yeah, I think, you know, my grandma certainly didn't make up the saying, but she used to say a penny saved is a penny earned.
Absolutely.
And I think the word ownership has a lot to do with this conversation as well. You know, just owning your retirement, making the most of it. Nobody else is going to do it for you at the end of the day.
You know, say I used to pick pennies up all the time back in the day. And you could get a piece of candy for 1 penny back in the day. That was pretty cool. So there was no tax on it. You'd go in and get a penny, you go get a piece of candy.
I love it.
So, but there was a study we did back in the day, and it said if you have a penny and you double it every day for 1 month, 30 days, you'd have over $1 million. Wow. If you doubled it. So the next day would be 2 cents, 4 cents, 8 cents, etc. You're up to millions of dollars. I think it was like 10 million by the time 30 days
That's
came.
incredible. That's incredible. I remember seeing
penny
that
saved
chart.
is a lot of pennies earned.
A lot of pennies earned. I love that.
Yeah.
We're going to allude to compound interest there, which is later on in this here book. But until then, you like that? Until then, though, let's wrap up chapter 2, and folks, get ready for chapter 3. If anything that you've read in here or heard in here has drawn out some questions, and you want to talk to one of Coach Pete's fiduciary planners, just give us a call, text us, communicate with us. We'd be happy to sit down with you and walk you through the goal line.
Yeah.
See you next time.
For your life.
Living your life today without punishing yourself tomorrow. And that's what we do. We can do a plan like that. So you don't have to punish yourself ever. And so there are a lot of people that say, gosh, I can't have any fun because I need to save this money for retirement. Then you get to retirement, you can't do anything anyway.
Because you don't feel good.
Yeah, you don't. Here's a fact of life. We get slower as we get older, don't we?
Right. Don't remind me. But through all the ages and stages, I think the important thing is, like, for instance, I'm getting married.
Great. Let's do it.
Next year, but it's been a really big topic in our house. Because,
let's do it.
Next year, but it's been a really big topic in our house because, we talked about it in one of our last.
I might have just said I liked what you were talking about, but I mean, no, you don't need a huge dress. You need whatever you want. That's what you want.
And I guess my
That's diplomatic.
Yeah, my question is for all of this, and for those that are going through this and merging money and still keeping their independence, is how do you, for lack of better words, compromise in this type of situation? Because obviously you're getting married, and these are bumpy roads going into the wedding, surviving all of that with families and costs and expense. But how do you reel it in?
Many times a wedding is the first time a girl turning into a woman has ever had to worry about a budget.
Okay.
Because a lot of like the rule is that the parents of the daughter always pay for the wedding. That's what they always say, right? So I'm a parent of 2 daughters, so I'm careful. But see, what Alan has done, my friend whose daughter's getting married, is he put together a absolute budget, like amount.
Okay.
We're not going over 40,000. He said,
Oh,
which is a pretty big
Great.
budget
That's
if you
pretty
ask
good.
me.
Yes.
So,
That's big. That's generous.
but
You
you
don't
have to. So even with a $40,000 budget, though, his daughter is starting to complain because she says, "I don't have enough for this. I want a live band. I want a cello. I want." But you have to make sacrifices somewhere, and that's what our Congress doesn't know how to do that because all they do is print more money. But we can't manage our personal debts or financial situations like Congress because we don't have some people may have a printing press.
Yeah.
That's illegal though. But no, it's just you make that. You've done it too. You're already doing it. Mentally, you're making a priority list. What's most important? What are the 5 most important things in this wedding for me?
yes.
Right? You probably
Well,
thought about that.
I'm getting married later in life too.
Yeah.
And so I'm not but to my advice to the people that are in their 20s or early 30s that are doing it, I'm 40 now, is just really look at long term, like what else could I spend this money on? And because he technically has all of his stuff in Texas and I have all of my stuff, because he technically has all of his stuff in Texas and I have all of my stuff in North Carolina. So it's
separate.
not something we've figured out yet. And so we'll have to get with Coach and talk about the benefits, the pros and the cons.
The first thing you need is a trust.
Okay.
Because you're a blended family with a
Okay.
child.
Uh-huh.
The trust is the most important thing. Not a will, but a trust. Because you don't want to end up like Cinderella. You don't want Jackson turning, like if you pass away and all of a sudden he remarries and all of a sudden Jackson's treated like Cinderella.
Oh, no,
So you establish a trust.
Amanda's getting a trust today.
I'm getting a trust
is
right
very
now.
important. We do those trusts,
Yeah.
and we have an attorney organization that we utilize to do the trust.
Okay.
But they are a lot more affordable if you do it through us than if you go see an attorney.
Truly.
interesting.
Yes.
So
That's such a
lot
good
more.
one.
We're talking about 60% less.
And there's tax advantages to having the
There's
trust, right?
Well, sometimes there's
Okay.
tax advantages. It's more of a peace of mind.
Okay.
A trust speaks for you even if you're not here anymore. That's what a trust does. A trust is a way to bypass probate. A will is an invitation to probate. Guess how much probate costs? Between 3 and 7% of whatever you have in your estate
Lord.
is lost in probate, plus probate is not private. Trusts are totally private. So that's why trust makes so much
Nice.
more sense. And so, but especially if you have a blended family, especially if you're getting married, everybody really needs some kind of trust or will. But everybody needs that little green book of life. So you can come in and if you come in to see me, I'll give you a copy, but you can buy it on Amazon as well.
The more you know with Coach Pete, you got to have that trust.
Really is. Trust is important in life in more ways than one.
So I'm going to pin you down on this one too. Do you recommend, we have a newlywed coming in, we won't use each other, but do you want her to keep her own separate finances or do you recommend a blend?
Or insurance, all the
Yeah.
kind of stuff you want to pay for together. But if you like a nicer car, you have your own account.
It
Nice.
sounds fair to me. I still need my independence.
A lot less fighting
Yes.
if you have blended. It's a blended family kind of thing because now you're
Yeah.
with your husband, so blend the accounts. Have a joint, and then you both have your own individual.
And if you really have a good man, which you know you will, when you say, honey, can you please buy me this? Then that's
Yeah,
fine.
but you don't want to bind it with a joint money, right?
No.
So what fun is it to get flowers from the money you just spent?
Jackie's like,
you wouldn't want to.
absolutely
no.
No, it makes sense. But again, you have to figure out, and these conversations, unfortunately, are had after the wedding, not before.
It's true.
Ah.
Because
And
it's people
yeah.
don't like to talk about money, especially women.
Yeah.
It's an awkward, a taboo subject.
But you guys are making 47% of the money worldwide
So it
now. So
doesn't-
it's time for
yeah.
you guys to be a member of the conversation.
Yeah. And it's not being confrontational.
No.
It's just having the
Just
gumption to
get
say,
it down
hey,
because if you
agree.
get it
Let's
down
go.
now and no confusion and you understand it completely,
Yeah.
then there'll be no. Well, there could be some confrontation in the future, but it won't be because of that money, right? It won't be because of that.
Maybe it should include the wedding plans, a consultation with a financial
It should,
planner.
like a-
Let's get this
Ooh.
thing.
Here we go.
And he can counsel us, right? You go to talk to your clergyman
I am,
when you're talking about, right?
One
Yeah.
course
Yeah.
away from being a
Premarital.
psychologist, by the way. I had 5 psychology classes too, so it's a good. There's a lot of
So much
psychology
saving
when I
money.
meet with
Psychology
folks.
of money,
Yeah,
yes.
there's a big correlation between money and psychology.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Coach, he's the man. Trust
Get in,
this
get
guy.
in to see Coach Pete.
So that's segment 3. When we come back, we've got 2 more segments here to talk about, episode segment, whatever we want to talk about, but we're going to get into even more detail when we come back. Hey, I'm Coach Pete DeRuda, president of Kenya for their national security. They're building their national treasure up with Bitcoin. So I was always a skeptical guy. I still am. I'm a Generation X guy, so I'm skeptical. But I've got 4 Bitcoin myself, not a lot. But my average cost is a lot higher than what we're talking about here. But it's a lot lower than what my average cost is a lot lower than what it is now. I never thought we'd see over 100,000.
Yeah. So I was the biggest Bitcoin non-believer there was. I mean, it's the greater fool theory. You got to find somebody dumber than you to pay more to it. That's what I thought. And then I watched, I might have been Michael Saylor on CNBC. It was really good. Lay out a believable case to a total non-believer like me that Bitcoin could hit $1 million someday. And he said, all we're recommending is that our clients put 1% of their portfolio in Bitcoin, because if it goes to 0, that won't hurt you. Yeah. If it goes to $1 million, you're going to be happy you did it. Well, that resonated with me. And so I put 1% of my portfolio back when Bitcoin was 2,000 a Bitcoin.
Oh, there you go.
And that is now worth well over 7.
Just turn on your radio, your TV, walk through the air. Just turn on your radio, your TV, walk through the airport. He's all over the place, folks. But today you're gracing me with your time here in the studio. I'm excited because this is a really awesome resource. I love what you've put into this book, Coach. And we're going to be talking withdrawal strategies specifically for tax optimization. And I just want to throw out a term here that I think a lot of our viewers are going to know. That's the 4% rule. You'll see this written about on CNBC or Fox Business, wherever you're looking. Could you kind of explain what that is and what your view on that is?
Yeah, it was put in by Wall Street a long time ago. It says as long as you only take 4% of your stock account out, you have about a 92% chance of not outliving your money.
Okay.
All right, 92% chance of being okay. You know what I don't like? You've got an 8% chance of being in trouble.
Yeah.
I don't design any plan unless it has a 100% chance of you not being in trouble.
That's good. Yeah.
So I've always held my nose when someone comes in and says, well, my broker says I'll be fine. I say, yeah, you got about a 92% chance of being fine. What if you're in that 8% where you don't? If you got on a plane and the pilot came on the loudspeaker and said, folks, we've got about a 92% chance of landing safely today, who do you think is going to be the first person off that plane?
I'll be right behind you. How about that?
Oh, yeah, you'll be able to do it. But, all right, so, and then they've done some studies and they said, really, you can't call it the 4% rule because a lot of people have run out of money. When the market goes down, you're taking money out. It could be even worse than a 8% chance of not outliving your money. So then they revised it and they called it the 2.8% rule.
Is that what it was?
So if you got $1 million, you can take $28,000 out a year and you got a 92% chance.
Imagine working your whole life saving up that $1 million nest egg.
Even 4% rule is only $40,000.
Yeah.
So the strategies we employ give you about 40 to 60% more with a 100% chance of not outliving your money.
I love it. That's so
lifetime income planning. So instead of getting $40,000, you get $60,000, and you got a 100% chance of never having a problem.
See, you take the worry out and you get more.
Taking the worry out of living in retirement.
That's a great.
One thing you don't want to be worried about in retirement is where the money's going to come from. You worked all your life to put this money away. Don't have someone take it away from you or outspend it. And so you can try to do it yourself, folks, but the do-it-yourselfer model never works. And a lot of times we're going to have the first 10 years or 20 years of retirement. That's when we're going to be in the go-go years still. Yes. We can go do all the fun things. So you don't want to say, well, I don't know if I can afford it or not. And don't take vacations until you're 80 or 90, because then you might not be able to do it anymore.
That's very good.
So our planning enables you to start right away. We encourage you every year to go take a vacation, spend that money, because if not, you're going to build a bunch of money up. You're going to leave your kids. And guess what? They're going to take vacations.